2 weeks. So it's due on Thanksgiving week, basically. So not next week, but the week after. And that will be to finalize all of your models and textures for your scene. So hopefully by now your main objects have been sort of finished and mostly textured, at least with a diffuse texture. So if you just go through, and again, by 2 weeks from now, you should have all of the models and textures pretty much finished, and that includes stuff for like specular maps and any other sort of random maps that you intend to put in there. Also, please update your animation playblast with whatever updates you have. I think I mentioned this last week, but I'm just sort of expecting that you guys are going to keep working on the animation each week and just progressively refining it. So whenever you submit an assignment, you'll usually be submitting like an updated animation as well. What I'm grading this on is basically like overall model quality and quantity. And when I say quantity, it's mostly just like, does it feel like your scene is populated appropriately for whatever you're doing? I'm not looking for like sheer quantity of stuff and like having you, make like a hoarder's house, but just like have enough to make your scene feel complete and like you actually look at the background basically. And then like, have you done good things with your models? Especially for stuff like if you have, fruit or like other weird organic stuff in your scene. If it's close up to the camera, it'd be nice to maybe like just make some really quick variations of it. So you're, like if you have a bunch of tomatoes, they're like slightly different shapes, that kind of thing. And then texture quality is like pretty much what I usually grade stuff for. So like everything should have some kind of map for most things. So like I would expect a map for like diffuse channels or like on a wall, maybe do like a slight bump map or something on it, so that you get that sort of like painted texture. What was that? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If something should be scratched or smudged, make it so, and, texture. I feel like that's all kind of self-explanatory. And again, what to submit, just do a playblast with the most up-to-date animations, models, and textures. Please also remember to turn off extra stuff like cameras and rigs and controls and all that good things. And then this one, you're going to do a render every 35th frame. So there should be 20 frames in that animation. And that is pretty much that. Are there any questions on that? Yep. That is correct. I actually don't remember. Yeah, so it should be, I think I added an actual assignment for that. But yes, that is due on Thanksgiving week. I think I actually just said I'm making it due on Thanksgiving Day. So you have 2 weeks and like some spare extra days to get that done. But yeah. And then after that, it's mostly just going to be, like when you get back, it's going to be refining your animation and doing like a demo reel test. So that's going to be where you show like your sort of progress shots of like how you've made your final. And after that, it's mostly just continue working on stuff. Any other questions about this assignment? All right. 2 other things that I would just like want to say really quick. So next week I'm going to do, if I don't finish any sim stuff, I'll finish that next week, but it's mostly going to be open lab. So bring stuff to work on. If you're having any questions with like issues with rigging, lighting, texturing, I can just sort of go around and like help everybody with that. I want to make sure that, I have a chance to do that kind of thing before you are off for 2 weeks. And I say 2 weeks because there will be no class on Thanksgiving week. So next week is class, week after no class. I will be traveling, but available by email, etc. There's just no class, and I probably won't be doing any like, here's 3 hours of recordings to watch, unless there's like stuff that you specifically want me to go over. But that's pretty much that. So, you guys want to do like a 4-minute break, and then we'll jump into a bunch of sims?